We've done, you know, some updates, and it still needs some updates, but the community has been very receptive. It's been we've had a really good following, and man, it's just been a neat story ever since. We live not too far from Willow City, and on the way into town, we had been coming by this church. And I always thought I was just missing the services because the sign out front was kind of faded, and the lights were on, but just nobody was here. And so I continued to try and make it by about the times that normal church services happen. And one day I timed it just right, and I realized that nobody was at this church. And so kind of against my best judgment, I decided to drive up the driveway to the church and get out, and I was hoping that nobody was going to get mad at me. But when I got here, I saw that there was a note on the door, and it was an old faded sticky note, an old faded pink sticky note that was on the door, and I could barely make it out, but it said, unfortunately, we've lost our pastor, and so we're not having any services. And there was a phone number at the bottom, and like in the hill country, most are 830 and 997, and so I could make all that out, but at the last four numbers, I could make out all but one number. So I went back home and I dialed 9127, 9128, 9129 until I finally got a voicemail. Luckily, they kept a really good record of the church, and the church has been renovated in the last 20 years, but I believe they broke ground on the church in 1947, so the church has been around for a while, and we have a history book that shows the outhouses and shows several pictures, you know, black and white pictures, of course, and it's neat to look at the attire that they wore back in those days. And as far as I can remember or tell, it was a Pentecostal church, and so, you know, it's just neat to see that the way people dressed and how big the congregation was.
I think everyone that come here gets a great feeling by the time they leave. When I go to church, I want to rejoice. I don't want to leave the church upset because of some political activity that happened while I was there, or some dissent, or somebody didn't think they get to sing enough, that type of thing. And when you leave here, we all stand out front and visit, and it's just, you feel good, and that's what it's supposed to be about.